What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing off some of the new pickups I got for the collection. So I was recently out of town. I was in the state of New Jersey. I was visiting some family, my wife's family, and we had a great time. We visited the city, visited some small towns, and on top of that, I went to two really cool retro game stores that are in that northeastern area. So I'm going to show off a little bit of what they look like and kind of go into detail of what I got. The first one, Digital Press, it's located in Springfield, New Jersey. I'm going to show you guys a little video that I took of the entrance here. As you can see here, it's a great entrance. They have, it's decorated with a bunch of CRTs, and you can look inside the window and there's like a ton of games there. They have some arcade cabinets there as well as pinball cabinets too, which is really cool. Now, usually when I go to these stores, I tend to go with a pretty big wish list of stuff that I want to get. But this time around, I was on a bit of a budget, so I had to be very smart with what I got. I was limited with my options, and I really wanted to focus on PlayStation, mainly newer PlayStation. PlayStation 4 games are really affordable to get right now, and there's a really cool library there. But I also want to show off some of the cool stuff that this store has. Again, this is Digital Press. They are located in Springfield, New Jersey. They have a really cool setup in there. This is one of the cool things. They have a really old school CRT. This looks like it has to be from the 70s with, you know, how the TV is surrounded by the wood. It is very 70s, and it probably is because they have an Atari there plugged in and also an NES. So that's a really cool thing that they had there, and you could play it. It was off when I was there, but you can turn it on and you can play games. Now, for most of their games, they kind of go with the GameStop kind of format where a majority of the games are displayed on the walls like a GameStop, but they have, for, you know, the more expensive games and more rare stuff, they do have them sealed in these glass cabinets. And I'm going to try to zoom in on these photos for you guys so you guys can see here, but they had really cool stuff here today. I had a humongous collection of Nintendo 64 stuff. They had some they had some Ridge Racer, they had some Outrun as well, they had Turok, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda, and then they had some pretty cool loose stuff there as well, Banjo-Kazooie, stuff like that. And when you look at the GameCube stuff, they had a really huge collection of GameCube stuff for sale. Bat and Kaitos was one of them. It's kind of like popular right now because it's coming to Switch. But you also had some other cool stuff there too. Eternal Darkness was another one that caught my eye. Resident Evil stuff. Sonic Adventure DX was there too. They had a really cool collection of GameCube games. That was really cool to see, and some special edition Resident Evil ones as well. You could also see here, I don't know if you guys could see it, yeah, they also had a Game Boy player for the GameCube with the disc. So there you go. The bottom corner here, you could see that there's some good Wii games. They have some Wii U's there. Overall, this is a pretty cool collection. And I'm going to show you guys here on the top right corner of this casing, you're going to see a very rare game, Little Samson. That's right, they have a complete copy of Little Samson for sale. And you can see that price, $6,999. So if you have roughly $7 grand to spare, it is for sale at that Digital Press in Springfield, New Jersey. But I was actually very excited to just kind of see this game in person. I actually saw this game at the National Video Game Museum in Frisco, Texas with my wife. But it was cool seeing it here for sale. Anybody could just walk in and get it. I spoke to when I was, checking out my games, I spoke to the guy at the register, and he told me that the guy brought it in for in-store credit for Black Friday. He said he got $5,000 of in-store credit, and he spent all of it on games that night. It was insane. Must have been really crazy for them having to do that transaction. And I am curious what games this guy got for trading in Little Samson. Some other cool stuff here that I saw, they had a handheld TurboGrafx console. I am not very well versed in the TurboGrafx, but I do know that this is a portable one that is very uncommon. You can see the price, really expensive. But it's cool that they had that there with a Superboy at the bottom. And this now is kind of a picture of the Sega Genesis cases. I'm gonna try to again zoom in, see what they had here for you guys. But you had some Streets of Rage, you had some really cool stuff here. Trying to name them here as I go through the photos here, zooming in. And Dragon's Fury was cool. They have some of the Shining Forces one here that I saw. Sonic the Hedgehog, of course, Flintstones. He had some interest, the Spider-Man game here as well, as I could see here zooming in. And then here at the bottom, towards the bottom end, they had some Sega 32X, a complete 32X in the box with some Sega Genesis loose games, as well as, I believe, his Master System here at the far right. And they also had some complete 32X, some loose stuff, and then obviously a really big one here that I was intrigued in, Sega Saturn. They have a really cool Sega Saturn game lineup here for sale. I did notice there was some Puzzle Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom stuff. They had some really good stuff here. Unfortunately, you know, American Sega Saturn games are just really expensive. It just was completely out of my budget. And then towards the bottom, you see they had some really cool Sega Dreamcast stuff. Capcom vs. SNK, Street Fighter Third Strike, you know, they had JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Street Fighter Alpha 3, love that game so much. But yeah, Dreamcast games are also really pricey. I have a lot of these from Japan, so I was obviously not interested in this stuff, but again, a really cool lineup that they had there at the store. And this is the PlayStation corner that they had here. So, kind of hard to tell right now, but you can see here at the top, they had Lunar Silver Star Story Complete, the big box Lunar game. This thing is not, it's one of those really rare games. I personally am lucky enough to have it, but I don't have it complete. This thing claims that it is complete, so I'm assuming it comes with the map. I'm assuming it comes with the golden necklace, unless I'm confusing that for Lunar 2, but I'm assuming this has all of them. Here in the second row, you can see they had like Arc the Lad, and they had a really good collection of PS1 games as well. Nothing that I was necessarily interested in or I was in a position to say must buy, because I was definitely thinking of budgeting. But Arc the Lad is cool. It's a game that I want, but I wasn't in a position to buy a really expensive game there. They had it complete. They had a really cool collection of PlayStation Vita stuff as well. Persona 4, Golden was there. They had some Eve's games in there. Gravity Rush, really cool one. Tales of Hearts R, I know that's a really sought after RPG. They also had a good collection of long box PS1 games. Overall, they had a great collection here. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the PS2, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, expensive game, but it was there. Silent Hill 3 they had a really good, versatile lineup here of great games on the PlayStation section. And when I was checking out at the register, I noticed this really awesome thing right here. They had Cotton for the Neo Geo Pocket. That's right. Cotton for the Neo Geo Pocket is another one of those games that is super rare. And you can see the price here, $1,299 for Cotton for the Neo Geo Pocket. This is one of those games that I've seen videos of on YouTube. Seeing it in person was absolutely mind-blowing, that it was right there. And they had, on top of that, they had a really good collection. They had 2 Neo Geo Pockets for sale, as you can see here in this photo. The silver one, the silver models. Which the Neo Geo Pocket, I feel like they're not expensive, but the games are really, really expensive. And there's a great example here. They had a really good collection of Neo Geo Pocket games. And you can see some of these games ranging in the $200 region, $400, $500 for some. $70 was probably the cheapest one I saw, but they had some really good quality in these games. Puyo Puyo, Fatal Fury, which is a really great game on the Neo Geo Pocket. Metal Slug, Puzzle Link. Puzzle Link is so fun. They had a lot of cool games here. The good thing is that a lot of these games are available on the Neo Geo Pocket collection that is on the Switch. So if you are ever itching to try these games out, they are available on the Switch for about $20. Alright, so let's show off what I got at Digital Press. So first things first, I got myself a PlayStation 1 memory card. Why did I get myself a PlayStation 1 memory card? I do have a PS2 Slim, and I have some PS1 RPGs that I want to start playing soon. And you need a PlayStation 1 memory card to save game data to. You could copy the save data and transfer it over to a PS2 memory card if you want, but you can't play a PS1 game with saved data on the PS2 memory card. You need a PS1 memory card to play PS1 games. So this was a necessity. These cards are very, very cheap. I got this for about $9, so I thought it was a good price. And so yeah, that's mainly, it was really out of necessity that I had to get this thing here. All right, next thing here, I got Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story. This is the second one, and surprisingly not, look, it's a sealed game. You can see here, it is sealed, but I do plan on opening this game up. I have a Japanese Sega Saturn, so I will have no problem playing this game. And I've recently been getting into the Gundam kind of universe. There's a lot of cool games on it, and you're gonna see that the collection was very Gundam focused. But this is a cool one I got. It was at a good price. You can see the price tag here. They had it for $12.99. It was sealed, but I do plan on opening this eventually once I'm ready to play it. But another cool addition to my ever-growing Sega Saturn, or slowly growing, as you could say, really Japanese-focused Sega Saturn collection. But really happy I got this one in the collection. Now this is one I'm really excited to show you guys. The Sega Saturn controller. This is a Bluetooth controller, as you can see here. It works for the Sega Saturn, PC, Mac, Nintendo Switch, and other USB enabled devices. I'm not sure which other devices it means, but what's really cool about this is that this is a wireless controller that's compatible with Nintendo Switch and the Sega Saturn. And as you can see here in the corner, you have your USB receiver for regular modern day devices, and you have the Sega Saturn receiver that you can plug this in. So I saw this, I was really excited to get this, and I'm gonna open it for you guys right here. We're gonna have a little unboxing in the middle of all this, in the middle of the pickups video. All right, so here we go. It comes in this cool little plastic casing, saran wrap or whatever. Let's open this up. And there's our Sega Saturn controller. And here, as you can see here, it has the, get this out. Okay, so here you see it has your Bluetooth receiver right here, and here is the Sega Saturn one that you see right here. So this is a Sega Saturn receiver. It goes right into the Saturn, and as far as the controller goes, it feels just like the one I have. The buttons are not as, the click sound isn't as defined, but it feels all the same. I have not connected this controller yet. So I will connect this and maybe do a follow-up video when I can. It does come with a manual here. You can see right here that gives you guys kind of an instruction manual, just kind of how to connect it. Here it tells you here how to connect it to the Switch, how to connect it to PC or Android, how to connect it to the Mac or whatever, and there you go, like so. I love the Sega Saturn controller. There is a video I did where I talk about my favorite controllers, and the Sega Saturn controller is by far my favorite. So I'll leave a link in that so you guys can check that out. But yeah, really excited to have this and really be able to play some games. I have a lot of fighters on my Switch, so having this controller is exciting. All right, continuing with the Gundam. This is Gundam Generation Genesis. This is a very particular game. It is available on Switch now, from what I know, but this is basically a game that came out on the PS4 only in Europe, only in Japan. And this is a copy that is made in English, but it was only made for China, because China is kind of the universal language, I guess, between those two countries. So this is actually made in Japan, sent out to be sold in China. And you can see the back here, there is no rating. There is no ESRB. I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek here on Dragon Quest, but you can see here an American one, you have the T for teen right there, but here, there is no ESRB. That's because that stuff does not exist in these countries. So this, but it's fully in English. It can be translated into English, or you can put English subtitles. This is a strategy game that covers the entire history of the Gundam universe. As you can see right here, it gives you a little overview, starting from the very beginning all the way to, I guess, what's current, at least from when this game came out. I believe it was 2017. So I am excited to try this game out. I hear it's a really good game, and I just like the fact that it's very particular. The fact that it never came out here. There's no rating system back here because of this in China. When we open it up, you get a cool little manual. Generation manual here. Let's check this out. You can see right here, really, really cool imaging. And it kind of just takes you from each generation, from what I understand. You can see here, it looks really, really cool. Just really cool art. You just kind of go with it. How about that, man? China gets manuals with cool art, and then we don't get anything anymore. Well, there you go. I'm actually really happy I saw this game. Oh, look, you get a cool little timeline here from where it starts all the way to 2016. That was the year. I thought it was 2017. And there we go. And you have a cool little manual to go along with the game. Really happy I got this one on the PS4. Really excited. All right, I showed you guys off Dragon Quest 11 Echoes of an Elusive Age. I started playing this game on the Nintendo Switch, but man, I wanted a physical version of this. This is a very cheap game on the PS4 right now, guys. This is about $10, and this is a really affordable game. An amazing RPG that comes with stuff inside, which is really cool. You get some codes, and it also, remove the disc here, it has a reversible cover, so you have that as well. And I got this at Digital Press for $10, guys. I saw this the other day at GameStop for $34. GameStop is still trying to upsell certain games, but thankfully Digital Press is they're real ones by actually charging things for what they are. Dragon Quest, really great game. Highly recommend playing it. I would say on the PS4 because you get that, beautiful high resolution textures is great. And last one I got there is Gundam Versus. This is another one that I hear it's a lot of fun just because of combat. I know this game is more online focused, but it does have a it has a standard single player game. There's enough fun to be had there, and this game is not expensive at all. So I figured it would be a cool little game to play and just kind of have some fun in this kind of Gundam universe and just kind of have a blast playing, and I hear it is really good. So these were the things that I got at Digital Press. Everything was pretty decent. So now I'm gonna show you guys the second store I went to. It was in New York City. This is a crazy store. I was not ready for what I was going to see, and it's called Video Games New York. They are located in New York City, Manhattan, if you guys don't know. And it is an amazing store. I took some photos and some videos. I'm gonna show you guys a video that I took of the store here, as you can see. It's one of those stores where everything is super crammed in, and there's games on every corner of the walls. Games, consoles. My God, they had some amazing stuff here. Imports, they had some really rare stuff. They had consoles, they had stuff that were sealed. They had some really, really cool stuff here, man. You can see I'm looking at Grandia in this video. They had an insane collection of PS2 games, and my God, they even have a wall of sealed PlayStation 2 games, as you can see there. I zoomed in on a Persona 2, a huge wall of just sealed stuff, and I'm gonna show you guys some photos as well. Persona 4, Persona 3 sealed, and on the bottom there you could also see Mystic Heroes and Tales of the Abyss. This whole wall was just sealed PS2 games. They had an insane collection here. You see they had a PlayStation 3 signed by Hideo Kojima himself, which is absolutely awesome. And you can see Mega Man 2 at the bottom there, really cool stuff. And then on the corner here, Metal Gear Solid. And I don't know if you can see on this paper here, it says technically not a Hideo Kojima game. The guys were trolling a little bit, but just a really cool, this is really cool. I was absolutely amazed at the collection that they had here. This is a wall that I saw full of sealed Game Boy stuff. All this stuff was just sealed, never been opened. Has some cool stuff here, man. The Arcade Advanced Classics is a good one. Trying to zoom in on some of this stuff for you guys. Just a lot of stuff here. You see Shantae there, sealed. They had a lot of cool imports as well from the Game Boy Advance, as you can see on the corner there. And then on the bottom, they had some Retron stuff. They had Wings of Fury, which is a cool one. Sealed Game Boy, from what I see. Just a lot of cool stuff. I was amazed, but really the thing that made me that just kind of shocked me was their Neo Geo section. Guys, if you're looking for Neo Geo, this is the place. Look at the stuff that they have for Neo Geo. They had some really, really cool stuff here. Fatal Fury Special, man. They had the King of Fighters 2000. Aero Fighters is such a good game. The sports games are a lot of fun. King of Fighters 97. These bottom ones here, I believe, are the arcade cartridges, but they still work on a Neo Geo, the home console, if you can afford that. And then they had some bigger ones here at the top, Samurai Spirits. These were Neo Geo games that came out for the actual console. Breaker's Revenge, as you can see here. They had some really cool Neo Geo stuff that absolutely blew my mind. You can see here, Writing Hero, some really good stuff. And I got two games there that I'm going to show you guys right now. The first one is Grandia 2. Grandia 2, I ended up getting it for the PlayStation 2. This is a great RPG. I hear it's a lot of fun, and I'm excited to get into this one. You see the old Ubisoft logo here. If the camera could focus there. Some Ubisoft and Game Arts, man. Game Arts back then, they were involved with some cool stuff. They also did some of the Lunar games for the PSP. They did some really cool stuff. So yeah, Grandia 2 was awesome. And last but not least, this is Ys 9. Oh my god, they had this game early. As of recording and uploading this video, the game is not out yet. This game, I believe, comes out next week. But they had it there, and I'm recording this video about 4 or 5 days since I got this game. So they had this game early, and I noticed it at the shelf. And yeah, I was able to get Ys 9 for the PS5 about a week and a half early. So really happy with this purchase. I'm really excited to try this game out once I beat Ys 8. So yeah, guys, this was the collection of the stuff that I got. I wanted to share it before, too much time had passed. I had a lot of fun in Jersey with the family and with the wife, and it was just really cool going back to Digital Press and discovering a brand new game store and being able to pick up all these cool stuff. And I'm excited to try all this stuff out in due time. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below, let me know if there's any game here that caught your eye, or if you want any more info on some of the stores that I went to. Anyways, with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.